Gourmet number 25, A Time for Love.
Holy goodness, the shit is getting thick in here, man. I am going to have to get myself a big old shovel to keep up with it. Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to lead you on a magical journey through the epic and hunger and appetite-inducing tale of Toriko. Our last chapter, of course, saw us with the GT robot that was disguised as that president, kind of being, showing his true colors when Director Mansom went to kind of, talk to him and escort him out of the building. He just, put his hand right through his stomach area there, ran him right through. Director Mansom gave him a frying pan punch, and that's when revealed himself as the GT robot and its true colors. So that's where the chapter left off. Of course, the Devil Python is all cracked up from the super happy, crazy, horny juice that he was given, and that's going to be a problem as well. He went and grabbed all the other combatants in the ring, minus the Battle Wolves, of course, the newborn and the mother. So, as I said, the shit's getting thick in here. That's where that chapter left off. That's where this one picks up. It actually kind of it takes us into the bowels, so to speak, of the Gourmet Coliseum, into the actual control room. And they're talking about lasers are ready and online and this and that. And one guy's like, "Man, I got $50 on." What do you say on the, I got $50 on the troll calling a silverback, and the guy's like, yeah, like you'd win anyway, Fred, So there's that whole thing going on there, and then there's, and then it goes and it shows this director, we'll just call him Director M. So Director M over there, not to be confused with M from the popular James Bond series, the older British actress. But at any rate, so Director M goes and they talk about, they talk actually a little bit about how he could have gotten past them, So they go and they're like, how this dressed up as this President Doman or Doem or whatever, how it could have gotten past all their detections and everything. So then it goes into this whole thing about, retinal scans and facial scans working. He's like, analog stuff, that's nothing. Check his Gourmet ID. And the guy's like, sir, Gourmet ID. And then we get this cool, overly sort of complicated but really neat explanation on Gourmet IDs. So I'm going to let my partner take it away. If are you ready? Hold on, yeah, hold on a second. He said just a second. Are you ready? Okay, go.
Gourmet ID. The gourmet data that the IGO possesses on all citizens after someone is born. All the food they've ever eaten, including amount and even time of consumption, is recorded in detail. It is the most personal data that exists, and people are required to update it once every 3 years. Gourmet data includes the latent food information recorded in the brain, down to the number of chews taken in a given meal, making it possible to identify someone flawlessly. Its accuracy in identification rivals even DNA testing. Gourmet data serves as an examination of food cultures, but can also confirm identities and gourmet hunter capture records. It's even used in gourmet crime trials and at medical institutions. In the age of gourmet, one's Gourmet ID is such a highly private piece of personal information that, except for in special cases, even the IGO executives are prohibited from accessing it. Of course, because it is so highly controlled, checking or rewriting an ID is nearly impossible. Leaked Gourmet IDs of influential persons bring extremely high prices on the black market. Occasionally, a gourmet connoisseur intentionally lets their data circulate so as to show off their gourmet record, but the majority of the population is more apt to resist the basic renewal check. Back to you
now. Okay, good. Thank you for the explanation. I can't remember all that shit anyway. So then things wind up going and moving on from there, and they talk a little bit about, as far as once the description of the Gourmet IDs, come into play, they explain, they're like, listen, people don't even have to, first of all, a lot of the people that come here, a lot of these dignitaries and foreign ambassadors and things like that, they don't want any record of them being here, so none of them go and actually show their Gourmet IDs. It's not a requirement either for the Coliseum, so basically nobody does it, I did think, however, the explanation was pretty cool of the Gourmet ID and being able to identify a person down to the amount of chews that they make, because each person eats differently and stuff, so very cool stuff. We then go and we go into the actual arena. Prior to that, they go and they say, listen, everything's online and ready, but hold off for right now, because it looks like Director Mansom's given the, giving us the hand to, putting his hand up and saying, hold on, guys, it looks like he wants to fight, is what they say. So He wants to battle or rumble. So then they go and they show, you know, Mansom, and he's talking to this GT robot, you know, and he's just like, yeah, who is it in there? I know you can hear me and this and that, you know, and you're throwing everything you got at us in Gourmet Corp and this and that, you know. And then he goes and he says, somebody says, the GT robot, I'm sorry, not somebody. The GT robot goes and says, Director Mansom, or Director, you look yummy, you know. And he's just like, Bay, is that you, Bay? In there. And so he goes and this thing goes to grab onto him, you know, to get him like at a pressure point. And he goes, yeah, sorry, buddy, that's not a pressure point, or not, maybe not on him, I guess. I don't know. And then in the next scene, you know, you're going to kind of see him just go and do like one of the Toriko things where he just kind of hulks up, you know, and just, I don't know if it's like how he actually gets bigger, or if it's just sort of showing like him just pulling all his strength and adrenaline into one thing. And all of a sudden he's just like, you know, frying pan sandwich. And I mean, he just smashes this thing in the head, right? And then they go and they actually show inside of its head and the little robot brain and everything that's working. And although he looks like he maybe slightly dented it, he did not actually, you know, cause any damage to it. So Toriko, while this is all going on, actually kind of looks on in awe and amazement, like, oh, hey, that's the thing from the Cavern Lagoon. And then he's like, wait, but... And I'm assuming it's because of his smell. He's like, it's not the exact same one, you know? So it's really kind of cool, all the stuff that transpires. Then we go, and as if it wasn't already just ridiculous enough that Director Mansom got, like, run through and, you know, pretty much just got gutted, then it looks like this thing goes and I don't know if it spits something or if it fires something out of its little anteater-looking mouth, but it goes and it looks like it fires something directly through Director Mansom's throat, right? And I know that you can... well, at least from what I've seen in movies and stuff like that, you can actually, I guess, take a bullet in certain areas and it'll actually pass through without causing any major damage. But I don't know, man. This thing comes out the back of him and everything, you know? And then I don't know if Mansom nails it or it nails him or there's an explosion or what, but there's just basically like a huge, you know, like there's just this rumble going on. Then everything is directed towards, because, you know, we forgot all about the devil python that was over here, right? So, and this thing is certainly a tall drink of water, too. So the devil python, all the other animals that it grabbed, you know, the growlers and the elephantosaurus and everything, it ate the damn things, you know, because Toriko looks at him and he's like, geez, you glutton, really? Did you eat all of those things? Did you eat all those animals? What the fuck is wrong with you, right? So this thing kind of goes and they show its eye, and its eye is like all just cracked out, man. Just looks like, you know, somebody that's on like a 3-day bender or something, you know, and just all bloodshot and shit. You can see the veins and everything in it. So obviously the crazy hyped up, you know, sexual frustration juice or whatever, that perfume, you know, really has this thing hyped up, man. He is just crazy, and it's just some crazed meth head coming at him. So this thing goes and starts to go and come at Toriko, right? The battle wolf goes and gets up. The battle wolf, mind you, that was just cloned like, you know, a few days before or whenever, and just went and had a baby, okay? And this is the one time of the year or the one time in its life that it's supposed to just chill and relax, but the battle wolf stands up and says, that's it. Enough of this shit. Enough of this shit. I'm tired of this monkeying around. I'm just trying to hang out with my newborn over here. I'm exhausted, but I'm going to show you all how this shit's done, right? So the battle wolf goes and just, you know, they show cool flashes of it moving and everything, and then all of a sudden it just goes by, and Toriko's like, holy shit. Thing bit off the devil python's little arms, its little claws or whatever, man. Just... It's just so quick. And Toriko didn't even see it, right? And this is a guy who's already like superhuman ability and strength and everything else. Toriko didn't see that shit. He's just like, damn, you know? So it was really kind of cool because he's like, man, this battle wolf, you know, now you see why this thing is such a badass. You know, this thing is not fucking around. And Toriko goes and he's like, you know, this thing has to be weakened and everything else. But it still is going to go and take this devil python out like it's nothing, right? So then the battle wolf goes and it's really cool the way it's drawn and the way it moves. I can't wait until I get some more time, probably after, you know, the holidays here, to be able to actually make some Toriko artwork. But and the battle wolf will be one of the first ones for sure, no matter where I'm at in the story. And this thing goes and just goes through and just fucking guts and just takes out the devil python, man. The devil, like it was nothing. The devil python just slump hits the ground. Now, mind you, remember Toriko, 2 professional gourmet hunters, 2 of the 4 heavenly kings it took to take down one of these things, you know, earlier, well, in Cavern Lagoon. Now, I do attribute some of that handicap being, you know, going to the devil python because of the fact that it can see in the dark, and of course Toriko was not. He was the one that was handicapped, so he had to, you know, kind of have Coco dance around him while he charged up for his 5-fold punch. But anyway, it's besides the point. The point is this battle wolf took it out like it was nothing, nobody's business. So then the battle wolf goes and just kind of, you know, just looks like it's tired out, collapses, I don't know, just kind of just chilling like, oh man, you know, like I got nothing left. So Toriko goes and looks at the little baby battle wolf and goes, and he's thinking in his mind, anyway, this thing's got nothing left, it just gave just went through childbirth, and now it just took out this devil python, like it was a warm-up exercise, but it's got nothing left, So anyway, he goes up to the little battle wolf and he's like, go, be with your mother. She gave herself for you and this and that and went through this. Spend your time with her, right? And as the little one's going around, you're thinking, oh, it's so cute, the little battle wolf. And he's like, going over there and like that. All of a sudden, just like a shot, a laser, a something goes and comes through the battle wolf, the mother, the mama, and just goes right through it, like its shoulder and out its, out its side and everything. You're thinking, what the... so then they go and Toriko goes and looks up and he sees through the hole, of course, that he created, mind you, in the acrylic dome that's around the place, the fight that was raging between Mansom and this GT robot. Obviously, at least for the time being, the GT robot has done away with Mansom or has gotten the upper hand on him, whatever. But the GT robot is up there with its sinister look on its face and it says, Battle Wolf doesn't taste good, or I don't think Battle Wolf will taste good, something to that effect, right? And, basically like, fuck you, I just shot the battle wolf, Now, I don't know, because this thing's already weakened. I don't know if it's dead. I don't know if it's close to death. I don't know what the deal is here. But I know that is how the finale ends up here for Volume 3. So I am just dying to dig into Volume 4. I'm going to as soon as I'm done recording this. Not even going to edit anything right now. I'll do that shit later on. But really just a cool chapter, I think. A lot of action, some good descriptive stuff with the Gourmet ID, and overall just a lot of fun. So, of course, let me know what you think as always. The chapter question, though, that I have is, now that you've seen the Battle Wolf just briefly and hobbled in action, mind you, right? Now, I mean, what are your thoughts on the Battle Wolf? I know I asked a couple of chapters ago, what do you think about the Battle Wolf and this and that, but we had kind of just seen it at the time. We hadn't really seen it in action. And the way it was depicted, how this thing just moves faster than the eye can see and just took out this devil python, I mean, like it was a light workout, So what are your thoughts on just the unstoppable force that is the Battle Wolf, Man, I certainly hope this thing becomes Toriko's pet or something. Excuse me, or something, down the line. But anyway, leave your answer to the questions in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching you in the next one, nation.
The Battle Wolf should be called the Badass Battle Wolf. Remember to subscribe.